ng mga Amerikano during that time. Now, kaya siya yung ginawang puppet president ng mga Hapon. Pero ginawa niya lamang yun para maprotektahan tayo lahat. Pero hindi siya naintindihan ng mga kababayan natin. Nakikita siya kasama ng mga Hapon sa Malacanang. Tinawag siya ng mga Pilipino noon bilang traidor at collaborator. Na sobrang galit ng isang Pilipino sa kanya, 1941, naglalaro siya ng golf sa Wakwak, Mandaluyong outside Malacanang. Binaril siya sa dibdib ng 3 beses ng isang Pilipino. As the Tanduay Distillery Company. Now, he became good friends with business tycoons such as the Elizaldes and the Inchaustis. It made Don Valentin Reyes a very powerful and wealthy man. In fact, in 1871, he even became the primera alcalde of Ayuntamiento de Manila, somewhat like the mayor of the city. Now, he was able to marry the daughter of the Capitan General. Now, her name was Teresa Ponte, but unfortunately, she died early. Now, at age 62, Don Valentin decided to marry once again, but this time to a 20-year-old girl. They had this 42-year age gap. Now, her name was Dolores Menendez Valdez de Corneliana. Her name is a mouthful, but originally they lived in Binondo, the Chinese district of Manila, together with their 4 children. But unfortunately, it was not enough for Don Valentin. He wanted to surprise his new young wife, and this was the surprise. A mansion located in the fashionable Arrabal of San Miguel, Manila. It has a massive wrought iron gate there that opens up to this beautiful stone courtyard with a fountain. Now, look at the facade. It features neo-Gothic style pointed windows. The central portion protrudes, giving space on the second floor for the living room or the sala, and here on the first floor, the porte-cochere or the carriageway. Now, I bet Dolores loved her gift. But after the death of Don Valentin, this was inherited by one of his daughters. Now, her name was Concepcion, but Concepcion sadly settled in Spain. Now, she barely visits the Philippines at all. She only hired an old man for this mansion as a caretaker. As years pass on, the once proud mansion deteriorated. The kitchen roof fell. The attic even became a home to a bat colony. Imagine, bahay ng paniki. Now, finally, in 1974, Concepcion decided to sell the house. She sold it to then First Lady Madam Imelda Marcos. Mrs. Marcos transformed this structure into a guest house for the visitors of Malacanang Palace. Now, the current administration dedicates this place as the new home of the Presidential Museum. Again, we welcome you here in the Teos Mansion, our new Presidential Museum. Everyone, please follow me inside. From the Spanish period to the present, the assumption to the highest position here in our country was seen as a prize. The Spanish Governor-Generals then has seen it as a reward for their years of loyalty to the Spanish crown. The Americans saw the governorship of the Philippine Islands as a just compensation for their loyalty to their political parties. And today, Filipino politicians have seen the presidency as a prize as well. So much so that they exude much of their personal resources, like time, money, and effort to eventually reach the position. Democratically elected, the President of the Philippines is both the head of the state and of the government. But before his or her journey as the leader of the country, he or she must be elected first by the people. And according to the 1987 Philippine Constitution, we only have 5 qualifications for those who are seeking for the presidential seat. And let me tell you, hindi mahirap yung mga qualifications na yun. So, ang presidential seat po ay Pangulo lang ang maaaring gumamit na. Okay everyone, pag ako nagtutour, palagi ako nagtatanong. I always like to test the knowledge of my audience about Philippine history. Now, Level 1 muna tayo. Sino yung unang presidente natin?
Emilio.
Very good, General Emilio Aguinaldo. I'm expecting a lot from you. Mukhang magaling ka sa history.
Kasi ako, Emilio Aguinaldo ang pangalan.
Emilio Aguinaldo.
Sa mga naman ng bisita, maaari po ba paki-occupy yung space dito sa dulo para makapasok po yung iba. Please watch your steps po Medyo nakahanda pa po yung ating mga exhibit dyan. They're very fragile. Mga po sila na stack po tayo. So, kasya tayo actually. Di ba po maaari po paki-occupy yung space? Okay. Everyone, I know that for most, history is very boring, but today, let us make history interesting. I'll share to you trivia na hindi masyado alam ng ating mga kababayan about our Emilio Aguinaldo y family. He's from Kawit, Cavite. Did you know? Emilio Aguinaldo was our youngest president at the age of 29 years old. At siya rin ang pinakamatandang namatay sa kanilang lahat sa edad na 94 and 11 months. I'll give you a context. Now, we should remember that Emilio Aguinaldo lived as contemporaries or kasabayan ni Dr. Jose Rizal and Andres Bonifacio from late 1800s. But he lived so long, kung dadagdagan niya ng 1 year ang lifetime niya, maaabutan niyang Pangulo si Pangulong Marcos Sr. Ganun kahaba ang buhay niya. Now we have right here some of his memorabilia. We have here his walking cane. Look at the handle. It's made out of ivory or yung elephant's tusk. We have here a copy of our Declaration of our Independence that he personally signed in 1956. But my favorite one among his collections, ang kanyang mga sapatos right there. Dahil ang tapat ng sapatos niya, ay, wait lang, gusto ko itanong to. Sa mga nakasagot, papatulugin ko sa Malacanang. But refers to the 10-year transition period when we were still under U.S. occupation. From 1935 until 1946, America is testing the Philippines if we are ready to gain our independence. Pinangako sa atin ng Amerika na after 10 taon, papalayain na namin kayo. That is, if you are ready to be your own nation. Now, dahil tinetesting tayo, we need to have a president of our own, isang Pilipino. That's why the 1935 presidential elections were held and Quezon became victorious with 695,000 votes. I know that's not a lot. Kung ngayon makakakuha kayo ng 600, suportahan ang women's suffrage, karapatan ng mga kababaihan para makaboto, na attained noong 1937 during his presidency. That's why, noong 1941 presidential elections, tumakbo muli si Pangulong Quezon. He easily won the elections. Nagustuhan siya ng mga kababayan natin, especially mga kababaihan. Dumoble ang boto niya. From 600,000, naging 1.3 million votes. Now, look right there, November 10. That was the day when Quezon won his second term. But look at the next key event, December 8. In less than a month, the Philippines was invaded by Japan. Quezon was not able to finish his second term, so he flew to. We here in the Presidential Museum are very sad that whenever our fellow Filipinos hear his name, isa lang yung nasa isip nila. He is the Japanese puppet here. Talagang na-stay na yung pangalan niya in our history. And he's one of the victims of Philippine history. Now, Laurel only did what needs to be done during yun. Now, tatandaan nyo, sa Pangulong Quezon, Vice President Asios Peña, they flew to Washington DC to establish a government in exile para makasurvive yung government natin. Pero, para mga Amerikano during that time. Now, kaya siya yung ginawang puppet president ng mga Hapon. Pero, ginawa niya lamang yun para maprotektahan tayo lahat. Pero hindi siya naintindihan ng mga kababayan natin. Nakikita siya kasama ng mga Hapon sa Malacanang. Tinawag siya ng mga Pilipino noon bilang traidor at collaborator. Na sobrang galit ng isang Pilipino sa kanya, 1941, naglalaro siya ng golf sa Wakwak, Mandaluyong outside Malacanang. Binaril siya sa dibdib ng 3 beses ng isang Pilipino. Now, ang pangalan niya ay Feliciano Lizardo. Pang kontrabida yung pangalan niya, no? But you know what's surprising? There's a twist of fate. nabuhay si Pangulong Laurel. Nagpagaling siya sa Philippine General Hospital, and this is where it gets interesting. Nadakip yung taong bumaril sa kanya. The Japanese army presented Feliciano Lizardo in front of Laurel and asked him, "Is this the man who shot you?" Alam ni Laurel na yun yung taong yun. But ang sabi niya, "No, I don't know that man." Now, pagkatapos ng presidency niya, pinahanap niya yung taong yun. Pinatawad niya at ginawa niya pa ang personal bodyguard niya. Until 1959, I know that story seems very unbelievable, right? But we have there, on that display shelf, isa sa mga ball club ni Pangulong Jose P. Laurel para makommemorate natin yung story na yon. Let us enter his exhibit, shall we? Si Jose P. Laurel for most Filipinos. Ipupush ko natin ang tono. Jose P. Laurel is the only Filipino president who served the three branches of our government. Now, I told you earlier, he was once an associate justice, judiciary. He became a president, executive. Then, before and after his presidency, naging senador siya, legislative. Now, to top the cake, if you're gonna ask me, ano nga ba yung educational background ni Laurel? Look at his nameplate there. It's addressed as Dr. Jose P. Laurel, a Doctor of Philosophy in USD, with a degree of a Doctor of Science of Law in Yale University in the US. He also attended Oxford University in England, Paris University in France. He also, again, doctorate degree in Tokyo University. Sobrang taas ang pinag-aralan ni Pangulong Laurel. And have you heard of the Lyceum of the Philippines? Siya yung founder noon. Now, yung anak niya, si Doy Laurel, sumunod pa sa yapak ng kanyang ama. Naging vice president natin yung anak niya. Now, that's Jose P. Laurel. Nakakalungkot. Ang dami niyang achievement, pero ang tawag lang sa kanya, Japanese puppet president. Now, we have your next, we have